I'm a demon from hell. No, I'm Jordan.
Wow. Hi, I'm trying my best. I'm Maddie.
That was uninspired.
And welcome back to The Power of Two Will Do Nothing for You. A podcast recapping every episode of the TV show Charmed.
But it could do a lot for you.
If you believe.
Okay.
This is a good episode. What's the episode?
I'm getting there, Mary.
I'm impatient.
Okay. This week, we're talking about Season 1, Episode 10, Wicca Envy, which...
Woo. Double digits.
That's exciting. Yeah.
We hit the 10.
Figured life out. It's written by Brad Kern and Cheryl J. Anderson, who we already know, and directed by Mel Damsky.
This episode starts out at the manor, and Prue and Phoebe are just getting back from a shopping trip, and they immediately start talking about Betsy Johnson.
Oh my God. Sorry. I'm
What?
sorry. I was going to say, Betsy Johnson name drop? Is that like bought and paid for? Or
Probably.
Is that...
Betsy Johnson was really popular.
I'm sure that Betsy Johnson made some of the weird clothes in this show.
If I'm correct, because you might not know this about me, weird fact about me is I dropped out of fashion school and I went through a weird phase as a teenager / young adult where I thought I was interested in fashion and the fashion industry.
Which is funny.
I never was. It was sort of a weird autism masking thing because of the people I was hanging out with at the time. That's a different story.
Okay, fair.
But when they mentioned Betsy Johnson, I was jazzed because part of that weird time in my life was being kind of obsessed with Betsy Johnson.
I have a similar weird confession.
Great.
Okay. I don't know why. There was like a weird, bizarre haze around Betsy Johnson at that era. I was like an older teen.
Yeah.
You were a new teen.
I was a new teen.
Into later whatever. And yeah, it's interesting too because I look at it now and I'm like, this was never something I was actually interested in. So why was I trying to be like? I remember when she was like, what happened? She was like shutting down or like
she went in bankruptcy.
Bankrupt.
Yeah, she went
okay.
bankrupt.
I was afraid to say that.
She filed for bankruptcy.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was wrong. But
oh no, she did.
When she filed for bankruptcy, I hate that I'm saying this.
We're just talking about Betsy Johnson.
But I bought up a bunch of stuff.
Me too. No, me too.
No, and
well,
this is what's
also
weird.
they had great bras. I remember you bought a bunch of bras.
I bought a bunch of bras. But it's funny because high key, long term, completely unusable because they're itchy scratchy.
They are itchy scratchy. I remember that.
They're
They're pretty.
Who was I lying to?
They're like good for like a photo shoot, and that's about it.
When am I doing a photo shoot?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe like married, like what is it? Love is Blind style. Like you're gonna do a photo shoot with your partner where you're in your underwear.
Not. I wish I had half the audacity of her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
so Betsy Johnson name drop makes perfect sense.
But yeah, it was a weird time. It was
Not
like
weird.
everyone was very obsessed with Betsy Johnson and that type of style. And it's funny because now I'm like kind of really I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I think that's safe to say.
But anyway, moving on.
Nothing good for her and good for all. And then Piper literally flies in with a front clasp.
Oh my God.
bra.
I loved the way she slid across the floor as if she were greased.
She was.
Like she's like almost naked and her skin doesn't burn
She's like
off.
a dolphin.
Apparently. But yeah, they walk in on her and Leo running up the stairs and she freezes him. Piper freezes Leo and that sends her flying on the greatest slip and slide journey you've ever seen.
I also I love so much when after she freezes him and then Prue and Phoebe are like giving her shit and Phoebe says,
Prue's new look is perfect for an SHW. SHW? Single hot witch.
But Piper thinks
Single
it's
hot witch. I love that. I'm going to steal that. I can't believe SHW isn't more of a thing. We got to make it more of a thing.
Well, how could it be? Like no one there was no discourse when this was airing.
Yeah. I also
or like minimal discourse.
I also chuckled at when Piper goes to return to Leo because he's going to unfreeze and they go up the stairs. She like puts her hand back in his hand like right before he unfreezes. It's just funny. It's just a funny concept for one's life. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, that comes up later in the episode. Phoebe says something funny.
Yeah.
But then we have Prue and ghostly Rex.
Okay, he's not a ghost. He's
he's giving the vibe.
Body, yada, yada.
Yeah, but he's giving a ghostly vibe.
Yes, he's in Prue's room secretly with his astral body,
tricking her,
And he's speaking into her mind,
which is uncool.
from the astral plane, telling her what to do, tricking her into putting a priceless tiara into her desk. When I was watching this, I was shook.
Kitty was suspicious of.
Oh yeah, hissing at it.
Yeah,
Hissing at
ghostly
Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kitty knows, and he's gonna perv on us. This really
Which is
was
also just
like so
unnecessary.
unnecessary to include.
Yeah, it really.
But the
is,
cat
like,
saves us from being perved on.
Of course. Shout out to the cat. Then we see Hannah and Rex, and what the hell are they doing?
And basically, moral of the
what are
story
they
with
ever
Hannah and
doing?
Rex, what the hell are they doing? But they're clearly they got some kind of plan to make it look like Prue stole something.
Yeah,
And this is
that's
stressful.
been apparent. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had it in our little briefy case.
True.
So this is when we learn about like Charm's version of astral projection, though.
Yes.
He explains
It's
it.
actually not that bad.
It's pretty good. It's also very maximum fright level.
the concept of it.
Very maximum fright level. I speak English.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, the concept of it. I don't like that.
Yeah,
It's-
I don't like the idea that somebody could just be like in the room with me, watching
Speaking
what
into my
I'm
little
doing,
brain, like,
influencing my thoughts.
subtly making me think terrible things and do weird stuff.
Yeah.
And he uses it to basically like perv on Hannah, but she loves it because she's a perv. They're pervs.
Yeah, Hannah's like, what's astral projection again?
Oh my God.
Like this demon wouldn't know what astral projection
Well, yeah,
is. She's
it's-
just like a
yeah.
vehicle for telling the
Yes,
audience
yeah,
what
yeah.
astral projection is.
Right.
But he shows her by perving,
Yeah.
by being a perv. The song for this one was exciting
What was
because
it?
it's a popular one. It was She's So High.
Oh, see, that is a totally different experience.
Yeah. And it just gets
This
right
one
in there.
was something called One More Day by Derek James.
Not the same
It's
vibe.
not the same
Not
vibe.
the same vibe.
And
Not good
I-
enough.
This is just,
But
I
we
don't
do
know.
get
Do
a-
other people find this infuriating? I find this infuriating.
Yeah, the song change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. It upsets me. I don't like change. But we get a really fun fashion
Oh,
montage
yeah,
from
I
Prue.
love this.
She's trying on all her clothes. She just bought all new
the looks
wardrobe.
are- yes.
She's trying it all
Being
out.
a-
It's excellent.
SHW.
And she uses her powers to bring her shoes
which I
closer to
like.
her.
This is the only
Yes.
time we really see Prue having fun with her powers. Be kooky and silly, man.
I don't see anything wrong with pulling your shoes toward you
Come on.
with your mind. We get a cute sisters like wearing hand-me-downs from their sisters moment because Phoebe's dressed in Prue's old clothes.
And Piper tries to leave so quickly, and then they have this hilarious and terrible conversation.
Yes.
That actually makes so much sense.
It's so
And
funny.
it's funny.
It's such a funny concept. Piper says that she keeps freezing
him.
Leo. And like when I think about this happening, there's like not really anything funnier.
I was a little nervous and I kind of kept freezing him. Oh, Piper, you didn't. I didn't mean to. First time.
Okay, so at what point in the process exactly did you freeze him?
Very uncomfy. And I feel like in these episodes, we're really starting to feel like sisters.
Yeah.
You know,
I think in
we get
general-
conversations like this where they're actually the energy of sisters a little bit
Yeah,
more.
it's fun. And
Yeah.
there's like more time for fun,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think, than there had been.
And Leo comes down the stairs being his cutie little boy
I
self.
also have so much commentary about this eventually.
Piper and Leo?
Yeah, and just the way it's written, and like I'm just curious and how does it make any sense, but that's fine. Like I'm fine with it, but it doesn't make any sense.
Which part?
I can't really say at this time.
Well, just tell me.
Like the way he is just here hooking up with us.
Hooking up with
and
us. I mean, in
they don't
theory,
like
they've
cut
seen
that
the
shit
future.
out. I guess, but they give them all this shit about it.
I don't know.
It's just weird.
Yeah,
you
we'll
know?
have to unpack
Yeah. Anyway, so we see Prue and Phoebe at Buckland's.
Yeah, and everybody's in a panic. There's cops everywhere because they can't find the tiara, and it's a Romanoff family tiara, and this made me excited because I love that whole. Well, I don't love it because it's very upsetting, but you know, a hyperfixation of mine is that whole thing that happened with the Romanov family where they were all bayoneted.
Oh yeah,
including
that was in
the
some
children.
show we watched, right?
Yeah,
So
and then you know the whole thing that happened later with the one princess and that one lady. Like people thought that she was the princess, even though she probably wasn't. But a lot of people still think that she might be.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
But yeah, if you know about what I'm talking about, you know what about you know about what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. She gives us the worst lesson on the Romanovs ever.
Okay, I didn't say I didn't say I'm interested in the Romanovs. I'm interested in how they died.
Okay.
I mean, I'm interested specifically in the tragedy that occurred to them and their family.
All right.
Because what? Anyway.
But anyway, so Prue
Somebody
finds
stole
out.
the tiara.
Yes, Prue finds out that someone stole a tiara. She's like, oh no. And then Rex is being hella random with Phoebe.
Yeah, he's just flirting with her all of a sudden.
Phoebe being Phoebe isn't her. Your instinct should immediately be like, this is weird. And instead she's like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she wants it to make sense.
She's just down. But also they're talking about Bittersweet Symphony because that's how the conversation
Verve.
comes up.
Yes.
He's going to see the Verve.
Oh, yeah? Who?
The Verve?
Get out. Are you serious?
Why, you know them?
Know them. I worship them. Bittersweet Symphony is like the best song ever.
Really?
And then we immediately get Angry Andy.
Which
Here
I was
comes
actually going to
Angry
say he's a
Andy.
little less angry.
He's a little less angry, but he's still got his stern little mouth.
Yeah.
His stern little cop mouth. And he's going to question us about this tiara. He wants to talk
it
to
also
Prue.
makes no sense because he's like, come stop by the station later. It's like,
Ask
we're
me now.
both here now.
Yeah. Why would I stop by the station later? Efficiency.
Yeah, come on. And then Hannah's just a little shit. Like, that's
Hannah's
expected.
so annoying.
Yeah, she serves a purpose. Oh, it'd be better if you came by because I want to annoy you. I'm sorry.
In this next scene with Hannah and Rex, where they're talking more about the plan and everything to set up Prue and frame her,
I just wrote,
Rex kind of makes a weird purring sound at
it's
Hannah.
not I couldn't. No.
And I had to like pause it and take a moment.
I thought for some reason I thought you were gonna say pause it and take a bath.
I needed to cleanse myself.
I was like, we all recover in different ways.
But yeah, just think about that. I don't think I need to say anything about it. Just think about it. It's very upsetting.
So Prue does go down to the station.
Yes.
And very quickly, it's a weird interrogation vibe.
Yeah.
Which I get
Because
that
it looks weird.
Basically, it has to be her.
It's
but also,
framing.
why would it be her?
Yeah.
Why would she do this, and why would she do it so badly? Like,
Yeah.
Prue does things very well.
She's very
Let's be
obviously
reasonable.
being framed.
Well, I think that's generally not people's first.
I mean, Andy thinks that
well, yeah.
through the whole episode, basically. Like the
Well,
whole time
also,
he's like, Prue didn't do this.
Prue likes her job. So
yeah.
no motivation. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like,
yeah.
what are the upsides of stealing that tiara? You can't sell it.
Right.
What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, and Daryl's like being really sus of us.
Yeah, Daryl is suspicious of Prue. Especially since it doesn't really look good that she just stole a feather. She did literally last
no
episode
one's
just
gonna
steal
know
a feather
that,
from a
though.
museum. Andy does. And he told Daryl.
right.
Daryl brings it up.
That's weird. I
He
forgot.
says like she just stole a
yeah, it makes it seem like she's just like got
But
a
a
weird
feather's
klepto.
a little different than a tiara.
Maybe she's like a kooky klepto.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. Just in case I'm not enough of a freak, let's add a tiara.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's aside
don't
from this.
apologize for a quote within a quote.
Great.
So we see Prue and Piper at Quake in the next
Yes,
scene,
at the bar.
and then Rex and Phoebe show up, and it's
uncomfy.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. It just
It's
makes no
weird.
sense.
Phoebe will
And
just
then
go
I
along
love-
with anything.
Prue says they think it was an inside job, and all Rex says, "Really? How disturbing." That's it.
That's it. That's all he's got to
it.
say. He said, I might be the boss and it might have my name on the
Also,
building, but I'm not worried.
Also, like, it kind of makes no sense. Not kind of. It makes no sense because it's fine, whatever. But Prue knows that Rex is like nasty with Hannah.
Yeah.
So why would he be like,
She's
sure,
witnessed
Phoebe,
that.
enjoy? Like, what?
Yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, boo Rex is what I wrote in my notes. Boo. We're at the manor the next morning, and Phoebe has flowers from Rex.
Yeah, and it's
Boo
so funny.
again, ew.
It's so funny because there's obvious, standard tension between Phoebe and Prue, and Piper's on the phone, and she goes, I have to go. Something's about to come up.
Yeah, about to.
Leo, I need to call you back. Something's about to come up. I'll see you later, okay?
Something's about to
Very
come up.
Piper. I'm
okay.
going to have to do my job in a moment.
I have to go in about 2 minutes. And Rex is helping Phoebe get a job. More
Which is
shadiness.
Also weird, yeah.
He's going to call the employment agency. He's going to make some calls.
Mm-hmm. And our cop buddies show up.
Yeah, and I wondered, I guess I should have Googled this, but the cops show up, like Andy and Daryl show up because they're the only 2 cops in the whole city.
Yes.
And they have a search warrant to look for the tiara, but it looks like a receipt to me. Like it's the size of it is like a receipt size. I'm like, is that what a search warrant looks like? I feel like when I've seen search warrants and other things, they're a full piece of paper.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's literally like a receipt.
Said,
like,
I'm sorry.
he
No,
went to,
this is actually the receipt for my parking.
He went to Staples, bought a couple things.
Oh, he got some ink.
For the office. Yeah, he bought some ink, and then he came over and he said,
them up.
and he just flashed it real quick. Like, you know that trick, I'm a cop, and you flash your wallet real quick, and you pretend there's a badge in there.
And nobody
but
sees
there's
that it's
nothing.
actually a Costco
Like,
card.
Yeah, and it's like, you just flash it real quick. So
Nothing like a badge.
it's a
I'm
Costco
sorry.
card.
It was the only thing I could think of.
But yeah, that's what I think.
Anyway.
He's like, I have a warrant. I'm like, this is a receipt for Macy's. I'm like, what?
And then there's this just great scene,
I love
like peak
this.
Charmed stuff where we're going all around the room, freezing everything they
Well,
open that
Andy
Rex tells Andy about.
It's very drama. Andy
Yeah.
opens the drawer.
And Piper has to spat.
and
like,
they see it before he does. So
Right.
she's like, ah, and she freezes it.
She has to do the quickest freeze
And then we
in
just have to
America.
keep playing cat and mouse.
Yeah.
It's very fun. But Rex is also in the room.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
So he's like telling
Ghostly
Andy.
Rex.
He's telling Andy, you should probably look in the dresser again.
Like,
You
look
should probably
under
look
the
under the pillows.
pillows. That's
basically
where they would
telling
put it.
them where the tiara is, and then they have to freeze him and move the tiara again. It's pretty fun. Which I don't know why your first instinct wasn't take it out of the room. Put it in your pants. Like, don't put it in the room they're searching.
Right.
While they're still searching. It's probably a no.
And then Rex gets real dark, putting weird
God.
stuff in Piper's
You're
head.
a
And she-
miserable witch.
All of a sudden, she goes, I feel like talking to a shrink.
I
don't
love
know."
that.
It's
She's like, I
like,
feel like I want to call a shrink.
What's the matter? I don't know. I feel like calling a shrink for some reason.
and naturally, they don't find anything because we can freeze the room.
Yes.
So
We are magic. Like, what's the most obvious place to hide something? Under all the pillows on your bed. That's like some teenager shit. Hide it in a better place.
Well, yeah. I think they just
Use your
figured,
head.
Why would they look there? It's bizarre. Because there's a little demon whispering into their
There's
mind.
a little demon.
Also, normal cops would tear the place apart.
That's
but
what I'm
they're-
saying.
They're our friends, the only 2 cops in
Yeah,
the
the
city.
only 2 cops in the city, Andy and Daryl.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out who's setting us up. Us meaning Prue. But anyone could be because everyone is.
Yeah.
Everyone's out to get us.
Yeah. And it's funny because at one point Phoebe says, like, do you think Leo could be a warlock?
Right. So we start introducing this
Yeah.
idea that is Leo magic? Is
Yeah,
Leo
we're like,
just a
is
silly
Leo normal guy
handyman?
or no?
Right.
And then Rex calls, which don't call me.
I want someone to call me on my landline.
And I honestly think some of the writing in this episode is kind of weird
In what way?
with specifically Prue because she loves her job
Right.
and she has like a high up position
Yeah.
that I assume she had to work for.
Right.
And she also, being like an art historian, a museum curator, whatever she is, she like must have an appreciation for these like rare items, historical items. You would think she would have a lot of care for them. You know, like when you meet somebody who works in like a really
of course.
old library or something, they're like psychotic about the books. You know, it's like that kind of thing. But the whole episode, she's kind of like, whatever, who cares about this tiara? She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's
She
like
literally doesn't
secondary.
care.
Yeah.
She literally multiple times when asked about the problem just kind of brushes it aside and is like, I'm worried
Yeah,
about other things.
right.
I think that writing is really
Yeah,
weird.
because at the
and then
beginning-
she's also being framed. And she
Yeah.
doesn't seem upset or worried
No, you're
about
right,
it
yeah.
at any point.
At the beginning of the season, Prue's very into the art and the artifacts.
suddenly she
the
doesn't give a
whole thing.
shit.
Like we have that whole scene when she's like trying to get the job at Buckland's, where she's like looking at it all and being like, ooh, here's what,
Yeah.
ooh, blah, 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 like hyperfixation-y. So it is weird. You're right.
Yeah, it's very weird.
But then we see Leo go up into the attic in a very notably
Yes.
suspicious way.
And he's looking around. Looking around.
And looking around.
This isn't fixing a sink.
This isn't repairing wood. And then he does magic with his
Repairing wood.
hands.
Yeah, he opens that. We see him
So
do
we
magic.
know he is
We're seeing him
magic.
do the magic. What kind of magic is this?
Oh my God. Sound the magic alarm. It's not clear if Leo's a good boy or a bad boy, but
Yeah,
he's
we're not
definitely
clear.
a boy with
But he
hands
does
that do magic.
He does find the tiara though in the one drawer in the attic. But he leaves it there. He doesn't touch it
Right.
or anything. So we don't know. But then Piper finds him up there and she's kind of suspicious of him. And he lies and says that he was looking for old light fixtures because he needs a light bulb or something.
And he also tells Piper, here's the thing. I may have to just skedaddle real quick.
He says, soon I may have to skedaddle.
And I think Piper on some level is like, I am used to this avoidant type of person. Be
She's
gone.
like, well, bye.
Right.
She's like, I'm not going to really get outwardly upset. This is my life.
Yeah. And then in this next scene, Phoebe goes on this little thing with Rex. And for the record, I recognize this apartment that is revealed to be an illusion.
You recognize it?
I recognize it from later,
Later on?
season 5.
When it's someone else's apartment?
Yeah.
Does it look exactly the
Yep.
same?
To me, it does.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, like, I think it's the one that have when they're. You obviously can't include this.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty positive.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Like maybe
Why
the
would they do
furniture
it,
is
like,
set up different, but I
exactly the
just
same, pretty
recognize
much?
the set.
Like the setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny. I should
But-
pull it up to make sure I'm not wrong.
You're probably right. But I also, to add in before, at the end of the last scene, after Leo leaves the room, Piper sees that the drawer is cracked a little bit where the tiara
So
was.
she's
So that
sus.
makes her even more
Right.
suspicious. She's like, he was looking for the tiara. But this date, quote unquote date, between Rex and Phoebe is so uncomfy.
And also the way they have that in there, that's like, oh, you'll have to sleep with me, and it's like a ha-ha joke.
yeah, that's not funny.
It's just not cool considering
It's really not
things.
funny. Yeah.
And also the quickness with which Phoebe's like, whatever about that is not.
And he got her an interview with a magazine
Yeah.
to write for their fashion
Yeah.
section. He uses his astral projection
His
to
astral-
tell
Which is
Phoebe
crazy.
that she's getting a premonition of Prue at work being attacked.
Which is a
Which
level
is
of
nuts. So I can't believe he
is
can do
a
that.
level of manipulation.
That's not cool. He shouldn't be able to make us think we had a premonition.
No, and then literally I just have written, the room was a damn mirage.
A mirage?
It was a mirage.
Yeah.
It wasn't real.
Yeah. He like the
Something
room
this
turns
pretty
back
can't be
into just
real.
concrete nothing.
Right.
It's alarming. And how am I sitting on an illusion?
I know. This is a lot of fuss for whatever he's trying to do to these hoes. Which
Yeah.
I guess we circle back around to, and he is right. But
Yeah.
whatever.
And then he after Phoebe leaves, he calls 911 and says that he's at Buckland's and someone's trying to kill him. And when I was watching this, I couldn't remember exactly what happens in this episode, and I was honestly like, "What is his plan?"
I know.
I was so confused until
Yeah, I can
we really
remember.
get into what's going on. But we go to Prue at Buckland's and she's talking to the security guard.
He was a nice guy.
And it's such a nice interaction. It's so upsetting because
I know.
he's
'cause
about
of
to
what
die.
occur. Yeah.
she's asking him questions like if Hannah and Rex were still at
Right.
work or what's going on. And he's like, I know you didn't take it, Prue.
Oh, he loves us.
And I love Prue's like snooping on Hannah's computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the old school computer.
It's so funny.
shots
to me. I
that
love
we
it so
get.
much. I wish that I was still just playing on my little desktop. You ever
Yes.
put your little CD-ROM in your little desktop and you don't get it quite on the thing just right and you hear it crack?
Yes.
God.
Why would you bring that up?
I'm sorry. It's just a
the
core
pain.
memory.
I did that once with my Blues Clues game.
Oh my God. R.I.P.
I cried.
Yeah, of course. It's like not even hard to get a new game, but whatever, Back in those days, it wasn't always easy. You'd see them a lot when they first came out. Whoa, I'm having intense flashbacks.
Yeah, there wasn't Amazon.
Yeah, you're so right. Who knew? You'd have to go to Sam's Club or whatever.
Yeah, you
they
gotta
are
search
not
for that.
paying me. But so
We've talked about Costco. We've talked about Sam's Club.
We love bulk. No, not really. I'm actually really
we
afraid of
don't.
it.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of reasons. But
Late stage capitalism.
yeah, also just like chemicals and mold and things,
The
and
environment.
other stuff. Yeah. Anyway, but it is fun to be in a warehouse with items. What
fun.
can I say? I'm not a fool. I love
In the apocalypse,
I love
those
to
places
see-
would be really helpful.
I mean, except for how you'd get shot in there. Unless
No, I
it's
mean,
been a long
you
time.
gotta wait until everyone
Yeah,
goes
give it some
and
time.
then just see what's left.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad we could offer this important apocalyptic advice.
These tips.
And these hot apocalyptic tips. Anyway,
I've played all the Last of Us games, so
I
I'm
have
ready.
not. But
You better get on
I
it.
can make a nice cup of tea.
Okay, good.
Listen, I am not ready to kill. Okay, so while
am.
we're searching a little computy, Rex gets into our damn
Computy.
minds again,
Yeah,
and
he
I'm
says-
sick of this. And he's also using this very differently from how I would use it, because I would
How would
be
you
like,
use it?
I would be like, you
Do a
want,
performance.
you want to make Jordan a tasty breakfast. You want to
That is
empty
funny.
the dishwasher.
That is really funny.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah.
Make the person passionate about cleaning.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean,
Yeah.
that's using your power for good.
That's what I would do for if I could get into your mind.
I empty the dishwasher every day.
Okay.
That's my chore.
I'm not talking about that specifically. I would just get in your mind and make you really excited to like clean something random. Clean the oven, deep clean the oven.
You'd be like, tell Jordan you want to scrub the walls. That would be you.
You're Cinderella all of a sudden, but you're excited about
You
it.
talk about like scrubbing the walls, cleaning the walls.
For sure.
Yeah, you've said that to me.
I
You're like, we
have.
should have a big cleaning day where we clean the walls. You've said that to me.
Well, I'm a passionate.
And then
about-
I'd go back into your mind and say, I don't know, something about you
tell
leaving
Maddie
me alone.
you just want her to play video games.
Yeah, tell Maddie she should just play Baldur's Gate
Oh
3
my
for the
God.
rest of the day.
Anyway, glad that was shared.
That was important.
Very important.
Essential.
So
See, now I understand the plan.
right,
This next
yeah,
scene,
once
now I
this-
understand the
yes.
plan. This looks bad.
Hannah hits
The
our
security
nice
guard.
security boy
Well,
in the head.
did you ever say what Rex whispered to Phoebe? Whispered to
No,
Prue?
I didn't. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got really
we got
focused
distracted.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to say
I
it?
don't remember.
Rex, in his from his astral body, says to Prue,
You hear a scream, an innocent to protect in the warehouse.
Honey.
You ought to grab the artifact just inside the door.
you know, like he makes her
Yeah.
think that she heard something coming from the warehouse. So she runs off to the warehouse. And then we see in the warehouse, Hannah hits the security guard in the head with a statue, which, hello, this might be an important statue. Don't just be
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
hitting
what the
people with
hell?
things. And his head hits the ground.
Thunk.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has the tape, the security tape that they were missing, the cops were missing, that has
This is
on
a
it
full setup.
Prue taking the tiara because Rex manipulated her with his astral body, yada yada. So then Prue comes running in to a guy dead on the ground, the weapon, and the security tape that was missing that has her on it stealing the tiara. So it looks real bad. And then on top of that, she, like an idiot, picks up the murder weapon.
Right.
Because that's a great thing to do.
I mean, I guess that's proof that she cares about statuary.
Yeah, she picked it up. She was like, not this statue. But the cops are suspicious of us.
And Daryl and Andy are kind of like confusion,
Yeah.
but also alarmingly not that concerned. I don't know what that's about. There's a lot of weirdness in this episode, but I like it. I don't know.
But Prue is starting to think that Rex might have something
Well,
to do with
because come
it.
on.
So at least we have that.
Yeah, Prue's finally like, you don't think this timing with you and Rex is like a little sus?
Yeah. And Phoebe's throwing a lot of sass at
Of
Andy.
course.
Which I live for.
Oh, no, yeah, Phoebe was sistering heavily.
Yeah. She's been doing that since they broke up. I do
Yeah,
like that.
I do like that.
And this is so funny to me because at the end of this scene, Andy arrests Prue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very funny because he says,
You're under arrest for suspicion of murder.
that is not a thing. You can't arrest someone because you suspect they killed someone.
I mean, yeah, it would just be like
That is not
murder.
how that works. They could hold her for 24 hours for questioning, but then they have to let her go. Again, I'm true crime obsessed. And I just think it's so funny when stuff is so blatantly wrong because you need a warrant to arrest someone for a serious charge like murder.
Do you?
Yes.
I mean, but you can take
like
them
I
and
said,
hold
you
them.
can arrest them and hold them for 24 hours, but in the whole episode they're acting like Prue's like going to jail.
Yeah, I
and
know.
they also talk about like her arraignment and stuff. It's like, what? It's just this legal system is confused.
I also kind of hate this storytelling device in every show that it's used in where, the audience has all the information and then you have to suffer
Oh my
with
God,
the
it's
information.
so infuriating. I don't want to know. Tell me when they find out because
Right,
otherwise
like,
I'm
just
autistically
keep me in
impatient.
the dark. It's really frustrating. But Phoebe takes Piper to where she had her date with Rex to prove, listen, this is where I was, and it was a mirage.
And it's all concrete, nothing. It's an empty room. It's like an empty warehouse room. Yeah, so they're confused. And now we have even more proof that Rex is definitely a part of it.
Right.
Because clearly this was fake. And Phoebe lists astral projection as one of the possible things that could be going on.
Yeah, and Piper's pleased that Phoebe's like, I'm dating a warlock.
Yeah.
And Piper's like, it's not just me.
Yeah. Now someone else is in the club.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are in jail. Prue
Messing with the other inmates.
Yeah. The guy in the cell next to Prue is being creepy, so she throws him against the wall, and I love that.
Of course.
That's beautiful.
And we see Andy and Daryl talking about this situation, and I do feel like they start to seem more human, honestly. Like they have a little bit more depth.
And their relationship too, like the two
they're
of them, it seems
cutie
more like
bros.
actual friends a little bit, like
yeah.
friendly coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little less uncomfy.
Right.
But he's like, Andy, do you just think Prue didn't do it because you like her?
Right.
And he's like, listen, we've already talked about this. I just don't think Prue did it. Doesn't make any sense. And he's right.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And honestly, at this point, we should make a compilation of all the times that Andy has said, you got a better explanation.
Oh my God.
I feel like he says that every episode.
That's funny.
Because
We
he's
should
that
look.
guy. He's the guy who's like, here's this crazy thought I had. And everyone's like, you're crazy. And he's like, you got a better explanation.
Uh-huh. So back at the manor, Piper and Phoebe are like trying to unpack this
What's going on?
situation, and Piper's just casually holding this very, very expensive.
Yeah, and we're just
tiara.
rubbing our grubby little fingers
little
all
oils.
over
Yeah,
it. And
it's not
it
cool.
is, again, the fashion student in me is screaming.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to touch that kind of stuff. Where are your gloves?
Yeah.
Like she's just walking around with it.
Yeah. And it doesn't take Phoebe long to decide that they have to break break Prue out of jail.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was kind of a crazy idea initially. I was like,
So
is
you're
that
Piper.
I was like, is that the right
Because see,
choice?
to me, that's the instinctual, you gotta
yeah, but like,
break her out, deal with the consequences later.
I guess, but then what? I mean, obviously we're gonna see then what, but
Yeah. I also love it because Phoebe just kind of nicely bullies Piper into it. And then she turns around, she's like,
Totally cool power, I hate you.
we also act like that door wouldn't be locked.
I know, they can just swing that baby
The
open,
door
and that's
into
where
the
the
jail
cells
from
are.
the street
Yeah.
is just wide open. You can walk right in.
Of course.
No problem. But I do love when we start freezing people for our own benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Freezing all the cops. And one of the cops is frozen holding a donut.
I know, and Prue takes it.
Yeah, Prue takes it, and it's so funny. She takes it and she's leaving.
Respect.
Which,
Imagine that
honestly,
man's confusion.
Yeah, he's going to be like, where'd my donut go? I swear I
They
had a
also
donut.
reference the gas chamber, which is a weird choice.
They reference the gas chamber?
Yeah, it's better than the gas chamber.
Okay.
Which I don't know.
Yeah, maybe leave that out, guys.
Maybe not. That's for
kind of
sure a real
insensitive.
specific reference.
But Prue stuffs her pillow in her bed and pulls it up to make it look like she's in there. She pulls a Ferris Bueller, essentially.
Right, and then weird part of his bizarre, complex plan
Which,
that he
how would
loved
this
to
help?
create.
Like, it never helps.
I know.
We never reference it again. It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Yeah, Rex like meets them and takes their photo
As they're running out of the
yeah.
police station.
and then is threatening us and talking about how blah blah blah. My name's Rex. I'm a mean demon boy.
Yeah, he says, give me your powers, put them in this little lantern-looking thing, and then bring them to me, and then I will call the cops and tell them, oopsie, I misplaced the tiara. It's all good. Nobody stole it.
Right.
He says, you're going to prison unless you give me your powers. Give me the power of 3.
Yeah. And it's strange because there's this whole expensive museum that's a total sidebar to any of these actual people. Yeah. Like Rex is just a demon. Yeah. Whose museum is this?
We talk about that.
We do?
Yeah.
When?
In a couple scenes.
We do?
Yeah, right at the end.
Oh.
We see they stole people's identities.
Oh.
They killed them and took their names.
I mean, I know Hannah did, but did we see who?
Yeah,
Rex?
we see both of them. We see Hannah and Rex, the real Hannah and the real Rex.
Was Rex Buckland and he owned the museum?
I know that was their name. Those were their legal names, but I don't know if he owned the museum. Maybe the whole...
Like, did he build a museum called Buckland's just for his...
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume the guy he killed was like the owner of the... I don't know.
Of the museum.
Yeah, I would assume.
And people didn't bat an eye when suddenly they were dealing with a different... Okay, fair. You're right. All can be explained by magic. Of course. Oh, man. How dare I try to poke holes in magic?
Ah, yes. When Rex is threatening us and telling us to give him our powers, he also tells us that Hannah is at their house right now getting the tiara.
Right.
So that's also happening.
Mm-hmm. And a big hell no to this whole relinquishment spell. I'm definitely Phoebe in this situation.
Yeah, no. Why would we ever do that? Or can't we do something to just pretend our powers are in there?
Right.
From whence they came, return them now. Vanish the words, vanish our powers.
From whence they came, return them now. Vanish the words, vanish our powers. Come on, Phoebe.
From whence they came, return them now. Vanish the words, vanish our powers.
Like, not only are you not going to have your powers, which is bad for the world.
Right, like, how does that affect
But you're
going to
give them to evil, which is even worse.
Right.
And then when people ask, like, what the hell happened? How did you get defeated? You're going to be like, we handed over our powers in a lantern.
Yeah, we were just, like, here.
Like, that's uncomfy.
Mm-hmm.
It's an awkward thing to have to explain.
Yeah, also imagine the prospect of just going back to a normal, stupid life after all this. I
Yeah,
get that there
how
are
could
times
you?
when, like, certain people, like Piper in particular, really, like, want that.
Yeah.
But really, that would be weird.
Yeah. You'd know too much.
Mm-hmm.
He tells us, like, the whole plan. It's kind of stupid, honestly.
Who does?
Rex. He's monologuing.
Oh, yeah. He's always monologuing. And I love it because Hannah crawls down on the floor.
Yeah, and becomes
a
is this a panther?
I guess.
Yeah, like a black panther, literally.
Yes.
I was very like, oh, okay.
Yeah, becomes a Black Panther.
I forgot about that.
Then we
little detail.
immediately see her name scroll across a little screeny screen,
he's
and
searching.
Andy is looking.
He's looking,
and then
he's
we
doing
see the
background
photo
checks.
of supposed Hannah Webster.
Oh my
and
God.
it is certainly not our Hannah.
Yeah.
It's
Not
a
correct.
nice black lady,
Yeah. Take a drink.
right? And she did also. So that can't be
she
her.
did. They killed homicide.
She be dead as hell.
And then he looks up Rex Buckland.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's definitely
that's
not
definitely
him.
not him again. And he dead also on the same day.
Also, they were both homicided, so I bet we can guess who homicided
Yeah.
them.
Killed on the same
And
day.
that is the verb.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Andy knows. He calls his boss and he says, "You want to get over here?
Because I got
I proof that proves being framed, and I think I know who did it." So the gals are at Buckland's about to give over their powers to evil, but luckily Andy is figuring things out. There's also something else going on.
Oh, yeah. There's
It's about
layers
to happen.
here. Yeah, Rex shows up and he's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm lame. That's me describing what Rex
That
is
is
doing
him.
every time.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm lame.
And he says Hannah's lurking,
Yeah. They're like, where's Hannah? He's like, oh, lurking. She's
which
traveling.
is quite literal.
So they give him the lantern, and their powers kind of flash in the lantern for a
Yeah.
second.
And also, Rex says,
It all feels a little anticlimactic, don't you think? Too easy, almost.
and then we see the panther and we're like, oh,
Yeah,
shit,
Hannah
that's
comes
a
out.
panther.
Yeah.
In
we're
the
like,
office.
Oh, cool. We're being threatened by a panther.
Right.
But then we see Leo in the attic, And he
Right.
sees the empty book of shadows because
He's
all
like,
the words went away.
"This
when
will
we
not do."
Relinquished our powers.
And he puts his little hands,
uses his magic.
and he gets all warm, and it seems like he's a good boy,
Yeah, and
which
he's
we're
fixing
obviously
the book.
happy
He's putting
about.
the words back in the book.
Gotta be a good boy.
So what the hell?
Yeah.
And then our powers fly out of the lantern and go back into the ladies. So he fixed their stupidity.
Just in time.
And then Hannah is about to attack because their powers just went back to them. But Piper freezes Hannah mid-lunge, mid-pounce, mid-little kitty pounce. And then they Prue moves Rex closer
Brutal. Real
to
brutal.
Hannah. So Hannah murders Rex.
Definitely an appropriate death for them.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's honestly so good. She snaps his little neck with her panther mouth.
Yeah. Oh, when you're in your panther form, you just get all caught up in being a
Feral.
panther.
And then she morphs back into her human self and she's shook. And I love this moment when they get sucked into the depths of hell.
Oh, it's great. It's also really spooky because who is she talking to?
Yeah. She's like, it wasn't my fault.
I failed, they did! No! Please, no!
I didn't fail, he did. LOL.
Which true. I mean, that's kind
Throw
of
that fucker
Hannah.
under the
Hannah was
bus.
the only one who did anything the whole time. Rex was just like threaten monologue.
Yeah. Threaten monologue.
Yeah, and they're like looking at a pile of ash that was them, and they're like, "That was a little spooky."
Yeah. Also, like,
So
who's
did
your
that
boss
freak
now?
anybody else out, or
We
just
feel
me?
weird, huh? Like, this was a strange night.
Yeah, and we gotta just put Prue back in
Yeah,
jail
real quick, we got to get back
which
to
we
jail.
do. And Andy lets us out, and he's like, "Hey,
I love Prue's like, got to get me back to jail.
Okay, we gotta get me back to jail now. Let's go.
right." And Andy's like, "Hey, so turns out wasn't you?" She's like, "Yeah, I am aware."
Yeah, she's like, I knew that.
Like, I obviously didn't steal a tiara.
And she gets to leave the jail. Huzzah. This time, not secretly. And they do find the weird photo Rex
right? Which,
took.
like,
I don't
okay.
know why that was included.
Yeah.
But I guess he was in case he needed to prove that they escaped. And the gals are so confused.
They're
back
like,
at the
"Why
manor.
is who
They're
did
like,
this?
why did our powers come back to us?
Right.
Why is the book okay again? What happened?" And they think maybe we did the spell wrong.
Right. And then the culprit shows up.
Mr. Leo.
Leo. And he says, and I love it,
Well, I fixed everything I came here to fix.
Yeah, I fixed everything. I came
but I'll
here to
be
fix.
back. He
Yeah.
says he'll be back.
Yeah. Him and Piper being cutie, but also it's kind of sad because he's going to leave for a while. We don't like that.
Right, of course.
Especially
not.
since he just saved our asses. Just move over there in the room.
I know Phoebe and Prue are just like, we'll just step
We'll
5
just
feet
move away.
this way, and then
We'll
it'll
leave
be
Mom
like
and
we're
Dad
not even
alone.
here.
Like, we're
Yeah,
not
and they have a cute
here.
little combo. Also, sidebar, like I can't imagine
my
how exciting it would have been watching this for the as it was airing, and like you don't know what Leo is, and like blah, blah,
You're like,
blah,
who is
and
this
he heals the book,
guy?
and he at the very end orbs out, he orbs
Yeah,
out.
as he goes toward the door, he turns into a bunch of little lights and he goes, "Whoa," a little shimmer noise.
Oh yeah, I love the orb sound too. Love all the sound choices.
Yeah, and we burn that relinquishing spell.
As we should.
Which I completely support. Was that panther actually there?
I don't know.
It didn't look like it looked like a actor panther.
Did it?
It kind of did. I would
know.
be
I thought
impressed
it
if
looked
their CGI was
CGI-ish,
that
but
good.
maybe
I don't know.
not.
Maybe I'm crazy,
I don't know.
but
I would
don't
have to
know.
look at it again, I
It stressed me
guess.
out. I was like, I hope that panther's not actually there.
I mean, they did use a lot of real animals in the 90s.
Yeah, that's why I kind of assumed.
But I don't know.
But that's another episode.
Yep, that happened.
That happened. I was also gonna say, I wonder where that stupid Polaroid is now. It's probably in the trash. It probably got thrown out.
Yeah, really. They should
But
know
that would
to
have been
keep that kind
like,
of
wow,
thing.
if they had all signed it, that would have been really cool.
Yeah,
Silly little photo of them running out of the fake jail.
right.
But thank you for listening
Thanks.
to this episode of The Power
Drop
of Two.
us a
We'll do nothing for you.
review.
If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and follow our podcast so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And remember to like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Power of Two Pod to participate in silly memery.
Memory.
I do not know this Mimi. I've never seen this Mimi. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
The Power of Two Will Do Nothing for You is a Vanderland Productions podcast hosted by Jordan and Madison Vanderland, produced and edited by Madison Vanderland. All featured charmed audio and video clips are registered to the original copyright holders.